manufacturer actually finally got back to me about that thermal camera shipping and stuff like that. I can finally start the next process. Holy cow, it's been like what, almost over 2 months has it been since I've used it last? It just takes forever because the thing is like what, 23 to 25 frames per second, and yeah, I guess every country just treats that thing like a weapon, like you're using it for like military use and all that, so you have to go through this whole process. So tedious. So I guess if you ever wonder why even things like drones, they always have these super low frame rate thermal cameras, like at least the ones you can buy straight off, I guess, the shelf and all that, it's because of that. Otherwise there would be a lot of red tape to actually import and use the products. I guess this is not going to be good for next week too. There's going to be a transit strike, so no bus, no seabus for 3 days. Because it says here, transit strike to escalate to system stoppage. It's basically about money and working conditions, I guess you could say. It says, unless progress can be made in contract talks between Transdex Coast Mountain Bus Company and Unifor, a 3-day system-wide work stoppage will commence at Wednesday, November 27, 2019. Initially, what they did was they banned overtime working, so any type of overtime work, basically people would refuse to actually work, and that basically resulted in some delays. But this one's going to be like a full stoppage essentially. To my understanding, every department has like a different union, so things like the SkyTrain should still be operational, but that will affect, I guess, people like myself who actually rely on the transit a lot many times. Although technically I do walk most of the time, so I usually take the transit if I need to get to somewhere pretty quickly, so to speak. But at the same time, it just doesn't make sense to walk for like, for example, like what, 6 to 8 hours just to get to your destination for the day. Apparently a strike hasn't happened in a very long time as well, so it'd be kind of interesting, I guess, to see how it's like afterwards. I'm just imagining for people like students and all that, they'll have some issues getting to classes, so they'll probably have to carpool. And the cool thing I saw today was this drone that people were essentially, I guess, shooting out, whatever you want to call it, like some kind of cannon or something like that. And while they do that, the drone can actually have its propellers, I guess, transform and start flying. This one says, design of a ballistically launched foldable multi-rotor. So a lot of cool clips and stuff like that showing the drone launching out of vehicles and such. It says the operation of multi-rotors in crowded environments requires a highly reliable takeoff method, such as failures during takeoff can damage more valuable assets nearby. The addition of a ballistic launch system imposes a deterministic path for the multi-rotor to prevent collisions with its environment, as well as increase the multi-rotor's range of operation and allows deployment from an unsteady platform. And you can see more details essentially, like what is this, on a NASA site or something like that? It says Streamlined Quick Unfolding Investigator Drone. It's called the SQUID. And you can basically see the details of how it's basically made. You can see like things like what, the nose, the fin ring, aerodynamic shell, the battery. It almost reminds me of that other drone. There was one actually shaped like an egg before. I don't think it did too well overall, but this is kind of cool where you can actually launch the drone up and it'll basically unfold and start launching. I can imagine for a regular individual, this would be useful for things like going on a boat. Because I've seen so many videos where people try to, I guess, launch the drone from the boat. They just leave it on the ground, and all of a sudden when they take it off, boom, it just goes flying and crashes right into things. Imagine doing that for something like a drone delivery. You're just driving the truck or whatever, and basically just pressing a button, say, go deliver it to this guy. And basically just launch up, drop the package, and come back. That's what I would think personally, although most people probably think things like weapons and stuff, right? Alright, see you guys later.